Welcome to part 4 of the SI joint and lower back pain rehab series. The purpose of this series of movements is to build on the stability and strength and deep front line coordination, coordinating with the other myofascial meridians as you go through the movements and adding more complexity to the movements and more stability challenges. What you need is either a pillow or two or a ball to bring between your legs. I will use a ball, taking between my legs. And the idea here is not that you squeeze the ball necessarily, but you just hold it to wake up your deep front line, your coordinator of all movements and communicator with all other myofascial meridians. So you have the ball in between your legs above your knees. Your adductors will do the work to ensure that the ball is not falling. And now from here, your hands are in the front of your thighs, and you want to bring your weight centered onto your feet. So you don't want to have your pelvis shifted forward, neither too much back or tilted forward. So finding your center on your feet, in your pelvis, in your spine. Bring your hands onto your thighs, and now take an inhale three-dimensionally into the rib cage. Remember, we want to keep the breath slow and fluid and relaxed. And as you exhale, you slide your hands down, the spine stays extended, and slide down into a 90-degree angle. And now come back up as you exhale. Now with the next inhalation, you slide your hands down towards your knees and below if you need to. And as you exhale, you lift yourself back up. Inhale here. This is now a deep front line and superficial back line movement. Coming back up. As you inhale, you move down. You're creating space for the sit bones to move apart and in the pelvic floor to move apart. The lower portion of the superficial back line will be positively tensioned. The upper portion will be active. So the extensor muscles, they prevent you from dropping down. And then as you exhale, you're moving from the pelvis, tilting the pelvis into an upright centered position. Again, inhale, sliding your hands down. If you feel neural tension in the backs of your legs, feel free to bend the knees. And exhale, come back up. Once more, inhale, sliding the hands down, and exhale, come back up. The deep front line is activated the entire time, especially as you exhale and move back up into a standing position. Keep the ball in between your legs, and then we will do a diagonal reach with one hand to the opposite foot. You can also use the hand that is not reaching for support and a little bit of guidance if you feel like this helps you to trust that movement. Now, take an inhale. Three-dimensionally, finding center on your feet and in the pelvis. And then as you exhale, you slide down your hand and reach with the other hand down to the opposite foot. As far as you feel comfortable, can be the knee as well. And the spine stays in an extension. From the side, it looks like this. We change side. So you reach down, you're rotating in the spine, you're reaching from the sit bones, and then come up into a standing position again. So you extend the hips. So again, you're reaching down, the spine stays in an extension, yet it moves into a spiral, and the crown of the head reaches away from the tailbone, and then you come back up. So we increase the challenge of this deadlift-like movement, increasing the level of coordination necessary in order to hinge down from the hips. Excellent. Once more. And now coming back up to a standing position. Now, the next exercise you won't need the ball anymore or the pillows. You take your hands to your hips, finding center on your feet, balanced in between both feet, balanced on the tripods of the feet, behind the little toe, behind the big toe, and in front of the heels. And your pelvis is centered. It is not shifted forward, not shifted back. And also the torso, you try to increase equal length instead of coming into a side tilt position. And then from here, your spine is elongated. And now you take your hands to your hips and lift one leg as you exhale. Stay here for 3 breaths. Now here we need the stability from the deep front line on the standing leg, also the lateral line, and the other leg, this will be the deep front line hip flexors in particular, isometrically holding to improve the body-mind connection, to improve the awareness that you have of these muscles. So these isometric holds are also very beneficial to get a sense of muscles that may feel weak or switched off. And lower down, other side, you are finding center between both legs, and pelvis is centered, spine is elongated, hands on the hips for tactile cueing, and you lift the other knee up as high as it is comfortable for you and hold. Again, we want stability in the standing leg, and you will notice maybe that your ankle, your foot muscles work here to maintain balance. And you find the deep front line really well if you think of pushing the base of the big toe down and lifting up energetically through the inner thigh, maintaining the stability of the standing leg so the hip is not shifting to the side. And now the other side, the knee lifts. This is isometric strength, particularly of the hip flexors. And we're breathing through this. And now relax. Now we come to the last exercise of this session. Purpose of this exercise is to build coordination, but also strength and changing the angle of your body, and maybe bring your body into a position that may trigger the pain reflex that you had initially. For this exercise, you find center again on both feet. I'll show you from the side. Pelvis centered, spine elongated. Hands on the hips, and then you will reach with the right arm down towards your left knee or your left foot. The spine stays in an elongated position, and you reach as far as you feel comfortable. You can reach down, and now the thoracic spine will rotate slightly and then come up again. Bring the left and the right knee together, and we repeat this twice more, rotating of the thoracic spine while the pelvis is stable, and then come up. And once more, reaching from the crown of the head and the tailbone, and the hand down to the opposite foot. Bend the right knee and spiral your spine towards the right and come to a standing position. We change sides. Hands to the hips. Hinge from the hips. Reach with your left arm towards your right knee or right foot and go as far as you feel comfortable. And you spiral now, including the spiral line into this movement, down to your right foot. And now the right elbow moves towards your left knee and you spiral to the left. And again, we now here are not only challenging isometric strength in the standing leg, but also coordination of the pelvic floor, of the pelvis, in 2 different ways. On the right side, in a more stabilizing function. On the left side, a bit more mobilizing manner. And the spiral line, especially in the upper body, is required. The abdominal muscles to spiral your spine to the opposite side. Last one, and come to standing. I hope you enjoyed this little series. It may be helpful. Send this to your friends, to your neighbors, anyone who experiences SI joint or lower back pain. If it's acute, this could be a nice progression to go through, starting with the pelvic clock, including then the second session where we laid on the floor and moved the leg, maintaining the center and coordinating the fibers in a different way whilst moving the legs, and then including a little bit more strength and stability in the movements with the session number 3. Session number 4 really asks for coordination, stability, strength, awareness, working with your balance. SI joint point and lower back pain doesn't have to be scary. It's very annoying, it can be scary, and very importantly, it's your mind that helps you with healing and with trusting your body in motion again. I hope this helps. I hope you enjoyed this series. I see you next time. See you guys.